In the bustling city of Lagos, there lived a young poor girl named Ireti. When Ireti was just 5 years old, her father abandoned her mother and her 2 younger siblings and ran off with a younger woman. Because of this, Ireti's mother, a struggling hairdresser, had to care for 3 children with her little income. Being the oldest child, sometimes Ireti had to make a lot of sacrifices for her younger brother and sister. On her birthdays, her mother would make up excuses for not gifting Ireti, but on her younger siblings' birthdays, they would get whatever they asked for. If Ireti complained, her mother would tell her to be understanding. To support her struggling mother, Ireti learned how to weave and make braids from a very young age. At first, she started because she loved her mother's profession, but as time passed, she began to have her own customers. After years of struggling with her poor mother to make ends meet, one day, something horrible happened. That evening, Ireti was supposed to follow her mother and siblings to their church program. However, because she was very tired from standing all day and attending to customers, she insisted on resting at home, and her mother and siblings left for church without her. Sadly, on their way back that night, the motorcycle her mother and siblings had boarded had a terrible accident, and they all died on the spot. When the news of her mother's and siblings' demise reached Ireti, she felt like the whole world had crashed on her shoulders. Because of this tragic and heartbreaking event, Ireti decided to go to her father, who had married another woman, but her father showed no concern and wanted nothing to do with Ireti or the burial planning. Thankfully, the church Ireti's mother attended decided to take care of the burial and support Ireti in the little way they could. For the first 3 months after Ireti's mother and her siblings' burial, the church continued to support Ireti, but after the 3rd month, they stopped for no reason. When this happened, Ireti was forced to sell some things from her mother's small hairdressing shop to survive, but this didn't sustain her for long. To ensure that she wouldn't go a day without food, Ireti started hawking fruits and roasted groundnuts, but life was still tough for her. How long will I continue to do this? I have tried my best, but nothing is working. Right now my mates are at the university, but here I am, wondering where my next meal will come from. Ireti soliloquized one night while she was in her room. Maybe I should go back and open my mother's shop. I'm sure some of her old customers will still come back to me. It's better than hawking all day and eating like an ant. Ireti soliloquized. Yes, that's what I'll do. A bird at hand is better than 2 in the bush, she added. The following morning, just as Ireti had said, she opened her mother's hairdressing shop even though she had sold almost everything inside and sat there waiting for customers to show up. Luckily for Ireti, one of her mother's old customers dropped by to say hello. Even though she didn't do her hair, she gifted Ireti some money. In the days that followed, Ireti continued to open her late mother's shop. On some days, she made the hair of more than 3 people, and on other days, she made just 1. Even though Ireti worked every day as a hairdresser, the money she earned was barely enough to meet her basic needs. On some days, all she could afford to eat was garri and roasted groundnuts because she didn't want to scare away her customers by charging them too much. One Saturday afternoon, Ireti was sitting in the shop as usual, waiting for anybody to show up, when a very big and expensive car pulled over in front of her shop. As soon as the car stopped, a beautiful lady in a shiny red dress stepped out of the car and walked to Ireti's shop. Good afternoon, ma. You are welcome to my shop. What would you like to do, please? Ireti said excitedly. Do you sell wigs? The lady said. Oh no, ma. I don't sell wigs. But if you have any hair you would love to wig, I can do that for you, Ireti said. While Ireti spoke, She noticed that the woman's eyes were scanning her shop. From the woman's facial expression, Ireti could tell that she wasn't pleased. "I can see that you barely have anything in this shop, and it's not supposed to be so," the woman said. Excuse me, Ma?" Ireti said in a confused tone. "Ireti, that's your name, right? I heard about your mother. I'm sorry for your loss," the woman said. "Thank you, Ma," Ireti said. "If only your mother had listened to me, maybe your life would have been different," the woman said. I'm sorry, Ma. Did you know my mother? I'm not sure I recognize your face," Ireti said. "Yes, I knew your mother, but you didn't know me. She was a very strict and stubborn woman, and I admired that about her," the woman said. "Anyways, my name is Sandra, and I'm here to make you a deal," Sandra said. What deal?" Ireti asked in a confused tone. "I have one of the biggest wig factories here in Nigeria, and we make all kinds of wigs. I'd love to ask if you would be one of our partners. If you say yes, I will change your life and everything about you," Sandra said. "Thank you, Ma, for your offer, but I cannot afford to buy wigs from any factory right now. Maybe some other time," Ireti said innocently. "Who said anything about buying the wigs? I never said anything about that. Anyway, what I'm about to ask of you may not be your usual cup of tea, so I will give you time to think about this very well," Sandra said. "Will you give me the wigs for free?" Ireti asked in a confused voice. "Don't worry about that for now. Think about it and let me know if you would love to be a partner. If you must know, we have partners all over the world, and becoming one would be a plus for you," Sandra said. "Oh, all right. I will think about it," Ireti said. "That's my girl. Think about it, but do not take too much time," Sandra said. "This is for you. I know you need it," she added as she stretched a bundle of money to Ireti. What's this for, ma'am?" Ireti asked. "It's for you. Hold on to it while you think about my offer. Once you have made up your mind, call me and I'll be here," Sandra said. "Thank you so much, Ma," Ireti said, falling to her knees to express her gratitude. "Oh, don't be dramatic. This is nothing. Wait until you become our partner," Sandra said with a broad smile. "Please, how do I contact you, Ma? Can I have your complimentary card?" Ireti asked. "Oh dear, don't worry about that. You won't need it. Just call my name and I'll be here," Sandra said. "Oh, okay, Ma," Ireti said excitedly, even when she didn't understand what Sandra meant. That day, after Sandra got into her car and drove off, Ireti closed her late mother's shop and she went straight to the market to buy foodstuffs. Because she had not eaten a well-prepared meal in a very long time, Ireti bought all the ingredients she needed, including a lot of meat, and she made a pot of soup that evening. "Hey, so there are still kind people in this life? Hey, that lady is very generous, but it's strange that I don't know her, and my mother never mentioned her," Ireti soliloquized. "Hey, if she had not given me this money, that's how I would have drunk Gary to bed again. Chai! May God punish poverty! See the kind of food I ate today. Even when my mother was alive, we did not eat this kind of food," Ireti soliloquized. "I don't even need to think about this. I have accepted to be a partner with her factory," she added. Immediately Ireti said that. She remembered that she had not gotten Sandra's complimentary card so she could contact her. "Hey, how did that lady even say I should call her?" "Oh, Sandra!" Ireti said casually. But the minute she mentioned Sandra's name, the most shocking thing happened. Almost immediately, Sandra appeared in Ireti's room. But this time, she looked very different from when she visited Ireti at her mother's shop. She wore a beautiful white gown with many glittering stones on it, and she adorned her neck, arms, ankles, waist, and wrist with beautiful jewelry and colorful beads. Sandra also had long golden hair that reached her waist. It was so fine that Ireti could barely take her eyes off it. "Oh my God!" Ireti screamed in fear when Sandra appeared in her room. What are you doing? How did you do? Ireti stuttered. "You called me and I answered," Sandra said. "Do not be scared. I will not harm you. I'm only here to talk," Sandra said. How is this even possible? Are you a witch or a ghost? Ireti said, and Sandra burst into laughter. "No, I'm not a witch. I'm just an entrepreneur of the spirit realm. I make hair for humans like you, and when they wear it, I make my profit," Sandra said. The spirit realm? Ireti asked. "Listen, Ireti. You need to calm down. I can hear your heartbeats. And if you continue like that, you'll soon have a heart attack," Sandra said. Okay, I'm calm," Ireti lied. "For this to work out, you need to know that I will not hurt you. I'm only here for business. If you don't mind, there's something I would love to show you. Please, come with me," Sandra said, stretching her hands to Ireti. At first, Ireti hesitated to touch Sandra's hand, but when she saw how calm and beautiful Sandra looked, she held her hand. Almost immediately, the two women disappeared and appeared in the most beautiful place Ireti had ever seen. "This place is so beautiful! Where are we?" Ireti asked while admiring the beautiful place. "We are beneath the sea," Sandra said. The sea? Ireti said in a panic. "Relax. Nothing will happen to you. You are safe here," Sandra said. "Come with me. I want to give you a tour of our factory," she added. When Ireti heard that, she did not know what to expect. In fact, she thought Sandra's factory would be small, but what she saw next knocked her off her feet. Sandra's wig factory was the biggest factory Ireti had seen in her entire life, and she saw over 500 workers working hand in hand to create and package the wigs. Ireti also saw different types and colors of wigs that were actually trending in the real world. "This is where we make the wigs. As our future partner, I wanted you to see our factory and how the wigs are made. I run a very transparent business, and I wouldn't want to hide anything from you," Sandra said. "What happens to the women when they buy or wear your wigs?" Ireti asked. "Oh, nothing serious. They are only initiated into our kingdom, and we do with them whatever we please. But I can assure you that nobody gets hurt," Sandra said. "Are you sure about that?" Ireti asked. "I have no reason to lie to you. I came to you because I like you, and I want to help you live a better life. You just have to accept to become our partner. Once you do, we will send you the wigs, and you will display them in your shop," Sandra said. "You don't need to advertise them. They are enchanted, and they will draw people on their own." "Okay, if I do that, what will I get in return for helping you?" Ireti asked. "Money, wealth, a better life, you name it. Once any woman buys and wears the wig and is successfully initiated, there is a big commission for you. Sandra said, God knows I really need all the money I can get. That's not a problem. I will do whatever you ask me to do, provided I no longer have to suffer. Ireti said. So is that a yes? Sandra asked. Yes! I am ready to become your partner, Ireti said. That's why I like you. You are very different from your mother and are way smarter than she was, Sandra said. Let me take you back home. First thing tomorrow morning, the wigs will be delivered to your shop, Sandra said. The next minute, they appeared in Ireti's room and Sandra disappeared again. So this is how I will become rich without stressing myself. Thank God! You are wonderful! Ireti said excitedly after she returned to her room. Hey, come to think of it, that place was very beautiful. So all those stories we had been hearing were true, she added. Sadly, Ireti had no idea what she was getting herself into and how badly it would affect her life in the future. She also had no idea that Sandra had left out very important information about their collaboration, and by the time she found out, it was already too late. Watch out for part 2. Did you enjoy this story? Tell us your favorite part in the comment section below. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel. Also, do not forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you.